What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to a video. Welcome back to my sports channel. Welcome back to another, whatever the saying is. I forgot. But anyway, yeah. College football playoffs is here. The final rankings have came out. And Michigan made it in. Washington made it in. Texas made it in. And Alabama made it in. Now, don't have a problem with any of the teams that made it in. I just have a concern of what do the committee really want from a team? Do the committee really want the criteria that's set out for a team, or do the committee want, just the teams they feel like will make the most views? And I literally said this on my TikTok, made a video. Go over there and check it out at Cherrier. Put the description, put the channel, my TikTok in the description down below. But yeah, it's just, I don't know what the committee wants. And I say this because I feel for Jordan Travis and the Florida State Seminoles. The Florida State Seminoles have grinded all year for the last couple of months. Starting from September to October to November, and then playing their, ACC conference in the month of December and winning. I feel like that is why a lot of Power Fives are diminishing right before our very eyes, because we have this, this standard for college football. When it used to be called a Power Five or whatever, it was a reason it's called that, because those are the most 5 powerful conferences. Now it's getting to the point where we're a Power 5 conference, but some conferences aren't powerful than the next. So we're not going to include that because their conference is not as good. Instead of just including the team that's good within the conference, your conference is not as good as this conference, so you and the conference will be left out as a whole. I done seen the Big Ten get left out, even though they're the second. You could say they tie for first as the most powerful Power 5 conference. I seen the Pac-12 get left out. I seen the ACC get left out. And I seen Big 12 get left out. The only conference I haven't seen get left out is the SEC. And a lot of people might comment and say the SEC is the most tougher conference, which I don't see how. Y'all just love to say that because it's Alabama and Georgia. But all the other teams, you always have your top teams. You always have that. In the ACC, it might be Clemson or Florida State. In the Big Ten, it might be Michigan and Ohio State. Those are the big top brands. SEC, you got Georgia. You have Alabama. Pac-12, you have Oregon. Sometimes you have a USC. And in this case, you have a Washington. And in the Big 12, of course, you have Texas and Oklahoma. Now, because next year they will be in the SEC. But it's just weird to me how we love to put this notion that the SEC is the most powerful conference and the best conference and the tougher conference. But I just don't. I'm just not that type of believer like everybody is to see that. I don't see it because not only am I a Big Ten guy, I rep Michigan, but the conditions that the Big Ten plays in, it's just like that's unmatched. Yeah, you might say, well, the people you face is weak, but that's not our fault that a Rutgers might be bad, or Wisconsin might have a bad year, or Michigan State might have a bad year. That's not our fault. But y'all hype up the SEC like everybody in the division is just good. And people act like if you put on that SEC patch, you're just automatically just better than everybody else. And that's not the case. Because before they moved to the SEC, I seen Texas take down Alabama. If you want to keep it real. I seen Texas, that same Texas team, years ago, take down Georgia. If they didn't take them down, probably lost by a point. But still, they competed. So are you going to tell me that the SEC is the most powerful conferences and still getting doghoused? And not to mention, the ACC had a better record against the SEC this year. They were 9-7. So, and that goes along because a lot of ACC and SEC have rivals. You know, North Carolina, South Carolina, you know, Clemson, South Carolina, Florida, Florida State, you know, Miami, Florida, if they play sometimes. So, yeah, you have a lot of that. But it's just weird how we make that notion. And I'm saying that because Florida State is a 13-0 conference champion in the ACC. Okay, the ACC is not, I don't see how y'all can make that notion not as powerful as a conference, but it's still a Power 5. I have seen the ACC win plenty of national championships with the best of them against SEC teams. I have seen it. And if you want to bring up the record of SEC against ACC in the national championship since the college football playoffs have started, the ACC is literally leading. Literally. Yeah, I can even go back to the BCS Bowl. Florida State beat Auburn. That's 1. Clemson beat Alabama. 2. Clemson beat Alabama again. 3. I mean, you can say the ACC has a better record against SEC in the national championship. I think they're 2-1. So you can't say that they're the weakest conference. But I'm just trying to get my point across to saying that I get Alabama beat Georgia. I get Alabama had a tougher schedule, which I don't understand how. I guess we put in Kentucky up there and Ole Miss up there. And, of course, you got to put Georgia up there and then Texas. As they had the number 5. I don't understand that. How their conference is number 5. How their schedule was the number 5 strength of schedule. I don't understand that. I don't. I really don't. Because they really only play 2 ranked teams. Yeah, you have an LSU. Wasn't really good. But 2 real top that, okay, is something was Texas and Georgia. Everybody else, Tennessee, overrated. LSU, they're good, but okay. Kentucky, no. But they say that's the toughest they say that's the toughest schedule because they ranked everybody that shouldn't have been ranked. Tennessee shouldn't have been ranked that high. They were overrated from the start. And them playing Georgia, they play in separate conferences. So, of course, they're going to play Georgia in the SEC championship. And then LSU, that's their division rivals. They play in the SEC West. So, we rewarding that. That's just like Michigan played the number 10 team and the number 6 team. They was the number 2 team, and Michigan beat them. And I guarantee you our strength of schedule is not in the fucking 5s. I guarantee you it's probably somewhere in the 30s. I guarantee you that. And then we just played one of the best defenses, if not the best defense, in the nation in Iowa. But they would get overlooked because their offense is atrocious. Florida State got left out because strength of scheduling wise and because Jordan Travis went down. The thing to me, what I don't like with that criteria, if a key player go down, that can affect your chances of getting into the playoffs. A key player, Bo Schembechler said this notion years ago, probably before I was even born. Probably was before I was even born. He said, ain't no player, ain't no coach, ain't nobody bigger than the team. That's the reason he made that, because people always think you go off how the coach is there, or you go off on how your quarterback is doing. Your quarterback is the team. And he made that, and that, that phrase has stood into my head and stands true into college football today, because y'all are making the quarterback the whole team, and it's not. More and more, as we get into the years of college football, that saying and phrase and statement that Bo has made stands true and should always be standing true with any team, because y'all make the coach, y'all make the player, and y'all make everything else bigger than the team. And it should be about the team. So if your head coach is not there, the team can pick up that energy from the coach and carry on in spirit from the coach. If your quarterback is not there, if your running back is not there, if your wide receiver not there, you should still be the same team and get extra motivation to win for that player. Florida State got robbed of that. Instead of showing that they can win and prove that it is more than just Jordan Travis, we have an elite defense. Y'all basically said, okay, we're going to do y'all a favor and not put y'all in the playoffs because y'all going to get roundhouse. And it's messed up as a player to hear Jordan Travis, even as a coach to hear Jordan Travis say, I wish I would have broke my leg earlier, just to prove that this team didn't need me. It's more than just me. Yes, I get it. I was one of the leaders. But y'all holding the team to the standard that they're only good with me. And they are the first Power 5 conference champion, 13-0 to be left out. Ain't nobody that was 13-0 will be left out. Nobody. So it's just, to me, it's just messed up. Like, I made a prediction that the 4 teams that's in will be in. But I didn't really want to be right. I was just saying that they may do this. But I didn't want to be right. I was hoping that they prove me wrong and probably give Florida State a chance, because I look at it as it doesn't matter if your quarterback is not in. Once you go to the NFL and you break your leg as a quarterback, your team has to go on without you if they make the playoffs. We seen it with the Eagles. Nick Foles won them the Super Bowl without Carson Wentz, who started the year as their starter, who was having an MVP-like year. I seen the Patriots team without Drew Bledsoe. Tom Brady came in and led them to a Super Bowl. We're trying to get these kids prepared for the NFL. And how can you get them prepared for the NFL? You giving them playoffs, but you're not letting them see what they can do without their key players. Do you think in the NFL, if you are missing your key player, that you will be left out of the playoffs? No. Next man up. You got to see what you got to do. This is big boy football. But y'all want to try to see like that you're helping the person out by leaving them out of the playoffs because, we just don't believe in y'all. Okay? We seen TCU last year, and that's probably the case. We seen TCU last year with a backup quarterback go to the college football playoff and lead them past my team, which was surprising. So don't ever hold a team accountable to a key player, because they can prove you wrong. Just like Ohio State did with Cardale Jones. Won the national title, beat Alabama with their backup. And y'all got the nerve to say, well, if your key players is out. They was missing their key player. And y'all still let them in. and they won the national championship. You didn't think that Florida State could do it as well? It's messed up and that's bold. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. I already probably know what you guys are going to say. Well, they beat Georgia. Y'all always hold it to that standard and not looking at the bigger picture. That would never happen in an NFL. And that's what these kids are ultimately preparing for. So it's just weird that, oh, well, they did it right. They did it justice. But I bet if that was your team, though, that's not fair. But, hey, I'm not everybody. But, hey, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.